Welcome to CrocodileMTG. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jordan with CrocodileMTG, here to bring you another Magic the Gathering video. Today we are playing Esper Control and this hand is rough. I think we're going to have to mulligan this just because we don't want to be out aggroed, and this hand looks a lot better, so we're going to keep this. It's a fairy on top. I think we're gonna have to bottom that just because I think we're trying to find another blue source here. And our opponent on Overgrown Tomb, Lanimore Elves. So this is gonna be a fast start from our opponent. Alright, so it looks like we're playing in Sultai here. So Jadelight Ranger reveals 2 lands, which might actually be okay for us. So we're going to play down this Glacial Fortress. We're going to Thought Eraser our opponent. Our opponent with their own Thought Eraser, Lanimore Elves, Hostage Taker. I think we're just going to take that. We'll put that on top. So our opponent... this Watery Grave. They're going to swing in with the team. And now we have Mortify. We have all the cards. Alright, so I actually want to play this Drowned Catacomb because we want to have Absorb mana up. So our opponent played out the Lanimore Elves. So they're probably going to swing in with everything here. I think I just take it, Mortify into turn. I think I'm more afraid of what they have the potential to play than what they're actually playing here. I guess this Hostage Shaker is fine. So what happens if we Mortify in response? Does that go away forever? No. Alright, and we're ahead on this board. We're going to Chemister's Insight. End of turn. Our opponent just keeps swinging in with the team. And we're going to look for a Cry here. If we find a Cry, I think we're just very ahead on board. So our opponent played an Overgrown Tomb, which they hadn't revealed to us. So we're going to Chemister's Insight here. Hopefully we find a Cry. And we don't. So do I keep up this Contempt, or do I just play out this Search? I'm hoping our opponent just plays something. Yeah, I don't want to tap below Absorb mana, so I guess I don't want to play anything here. Leave this Contempt up. Alright, so our opponent's going to swing in for 4. Excuse me. Alright, we're down to 5. Alright, so our opponent doesn't play anything. I think I just want a Chemister's Insight here. Discarding one of these absorbs potentially. Alright, we have a Thought Eraser. So I think I'm going to start by Thought Erasering our opponent. I don't want to leave Absorb mana down. Alright, so we're going to take this Vivian Reed, I guess. Now we're going to take the Thief of Sanity. We're going to put that on top. we're going to play out this search, and we're going to leave negate up. And we're going to pray our opponent doesn't have anything that can kill us this turn. And then next turn, alright, that's fine. Our opponent may have drawn, and I think they have. So what do I fear more? Do I fear this, or do I fear the Vivian? That was a good draw from our opponent. Did our opponent play a land yet this turn? I guess I don't fear the Vivian as much. And next turn I can contempt the Vivian and stay alive. And if they just Vivian tick down on this, yeah, okay, so I'm not worried about that, I don't think. So they have a Drowned Catacomb in hand. Now I just think I can tempt. Alright. We're dead to a good top deck. I don't know what that good top deck would be, but we'll let them decide. If our opponent didn't draw anything relevant, oh, they didn't, I don't think. White, white, black, black. And now we have this absorb mana up, and I just think, you know, one is not dead. So we'll see here where our opponent pulls off. They didn't play this Drowned Catacomb. Or did they? Is that the Drowned Catacomb they had in hand? Are they holding the Drowned Catacomb I know about? Woodland Cemetery. Plays Watery Grave. Plays Breeding Pool. Plays Watery Grave. Yeah, so no Drowned Catacomb played, so I know what our opponent's hand is. And now we're just very far ahead. Alright, I'm going to move this down. Play a Teferi, tick it up. And we'll see if Teferi is good enough to make our opponent concede. Alright, so we have this absorb. I think we want to hold this absorb for Planeswalkers. If they attempt to kill our Teferi, I just don't think that's worth it. Alright, we'll draw a card first. We also have this Insight Engrave. So I'm going to go ahead and cast the Insight now. I think I'm going to discard this Chemister's Insight. Alright, I don't really care about our opponent's hand at the moment. Alright, we have Absorb, Mortify, so no matter what they find pretty much, we can take it away from them. Kaya's Wrath was definitely a good draw. Our opponent just getting flooded out here. I think they're potentially afraid to play anything also, so. Alright, we drew another Kaya's Wrath and a Vraska's Contempt and a Moment of Craving, and You know, we have all the removal spells, so. Thought Eraser. Well, I'm going to definitely gain some life for that one. It's rough if the Planeswalker comes down here, but... Alright, that's fine. Alright. I think I just Emblem to Fairy here, right? Is it greedy the wait a turn? Probably not. Being I don't have a way to protect Teferi, I think it's just more important to get the emblem on the field. And I think I just want to go after our opponent's blue mana sources here. Or maybe it is just their red and green. And we'll see what our opponent does if they're... We have a lot of removal spells. I'm going to play a land here. If our opponent finds a Karasis, I guess they can kind of get back in this game. And now this second Teferi might lock it up a little bit. If our opponent doesn't have a way to deal with it. Alright, so they do have a way to deal with it. Kind of gave away we don't have a counter spell, so. We have 2 more Teferis in the deck. Hopefully we can get rid of all their blue sources before this Hydroid Karasis comes down. If Karasis does come down, we have plenty of ways to remove it, but... Now drawing the Absorb just kind of locks up the game. Is this the first Karasis from our opponent? No, Vraska Relic Seeker, so that's fine. We're just going to counter it. And now we're just going to main phase this, find our Teferi, and lock up the end of the game here. So we're going to put that on bottom, that on bottom, this on top. Draw 3, exile 3. Wasn't sure what was targeted there for a minute. Alright, we're going to play this tapped. Like I said at the beginning, going to 1 is not going to 0, and it becomes a very different game at that point. So our opponent must just be looking to see if we have the Teferi to kind of keep our stuff going, which we do, but he doesn't know that, so he or she. His name is Daniel Garcia, but that doesn't mean it's a he. Alright, so we're just eating our opponent's lands. We have to find the Teferi. Our opponent can't be having a good time here. They're probably just running down our clock, to be honest. And unfortunately, because of the way this deck's going to be built, we're probably just going to... We're probably just going to have to start taking down an Arteferi. This is a kind of a crappy way to lose, but it is what it is. We have to deck our opponent, and we have to do that by taking down our Teferi, so... So our opponent's probably just trying to run out our clock here, which is going to work quite a bit, so... It's not fun, it's not great, but that's how Teferi is, so... We're just going to turn these off. "17 more turns to go. Our opponent doing a good job running out our clock. And now we're going to do something to actually close out the game, I guess. It's unfortunate we had to win this way, but this is Magic. With Teferi currently in Standard, this is how it's been for the last year, so I don't know why anyone would be surprised at this point. Our opponent's just running out our clock at this point, so I mean, I don't blame him. It's more than fair. If we want to play a slow deck, it's just like playing KCI on MTGO back when it was legal and standard. I mean, legal and modern. I don't think KCI was ever legal and standard. It's probably lucky for us we drew this Sphinx. Getting a pretty good look at our opponent's deck, though, so... I don't know why I didn't just swing there. I'm just wasting time at this point. Alright, so 12 minutes left on the clock. We have to sideboard here. What do we bring in? That is the question. I have to make sure while I'm yielding on my opponent's turn that I turn their things back on. That way I don't mess myself up. So against Sultai Midrange. Think I want the hostage takers. I could see bringing in this eldest reborn. Probably bringing that Kaya's Wrath. Our opponent has a lot of Planeswalkers, so I could see bringing in the Duresses also, but so what do we want to cut here? Probably not the Braskas. Unfortunately, I do not know. It's kind of a weird mid-range match at this point. I could see cutting one of the perceptions. We have a minute left. Maybe the absorbs make our mana too funky. Maybe we just want absorb. You can see cutting a Moment of Craving also because their creatures get bigger. And maybe a Search because it just tends to die a lot of the time. And we'll see what this does. Alright, so this hand is almost keepable. I think I'm going to keep it. I think it's decent, and if we draw another land, it's even better. So we're going to start with a Watery Grave. Alright, so our opponent has the Duress. They might take the Thought Eraser here. Yeah, they do. So our opponent's probably going to try and play around this Cry now that they see it. Hopefully we can draw one more land in the next 2 turns. And then we're on, hopefully hit curb. I'm just going to use this Cry on the Thief of Sanity. I don't think I can leave Thief of Sanity out there, so... Alright, so Duress is going to hit something here. Probably, yeah, I was going to say probably the Teferi. Alright, Jade Light finds a cast down. Absorb on the top. That's pretty good for us not having that great of mana. Ooh, I'm yielding to everything our opponent does. Found another Cry, that's not very good. Our opponent's just going to start beating down with this Jade Light. We'll probably end up going to a game 3 here, it seems. We'll see what our opponent tries to play. Alright, found Hollowed Fountain. I'm definitely playing that untapped. I think we're going to take 4 here, but I'm definitely casting this Insight into turn. as long as they don't play anything. If they cast anything, I'd probably just have to absorb it. What did they... They have a cast down in hand. So I'm gonna Chemister's Insight here. Hopefully find some more lands. Alright, that's pretty good here. We'll pass the turn back. Alright, we're just going to wait till the end of turn and attempt to Vraska's Contempt the Jade Light. I'm going to attempt to absorb that. It might get countered here by a negate. I guess not. Probably just want to enter this tapped. I don't have the negate, sadly, so we'll see here. Going down the 1, though, is a little bit risky. But I think if they land a Planeswalker, I think it's just worse. We'll see if they have a negate. If they have negate, I have this Kaya's Wrath. If they have double negate, then that's just game. Alright. So they're going to take one of the Kaya's Wraths. Possibly the Hostage Taker. If they have negate, they're... Yeah, if they have the negate, it's game. Alright, game's on. We'll pass the turn back. We have a Chemister's Insight in the grave, so... Alright, here comes some Vraska's Contempt. Alright, Teferi was a good draw here. The question is, what do I have to do? Because I'm dead to this. I guess my play has to be Cry and then Chemister's Insight. Alright. I have to find something good with this Chemister's Insight. Question is, what do I discard? Probably... I just feel like it has to be this Kaya's Wrath. Alright, you found a negate. Alright, Mortify might do it here. I guess we want to start with the Mortify. Play the Teferi, tick down. And we'll see if this gets there. Alright, our opponent has a Thief of Sanity, but we have a Hostage Taker. But our opponent has that cast down I think they still have in hand. And we have a negate here. So we might have a game here. Can I find a land off this Teferi to... Not one that comes untapped. So our opponent has a turn to kill this Hostage Taker. I don't think they have it. Alright, so we're definitely going to start with playing up this Thief of Sanity. Alright, I'm not afraid. I'm going to swing in for 2 here. Now I think they're going to play the Vraska. I'm assuming they just kill this Thief of Sanity. I was going to say, Thief is pretty strong. Alright, I found Absorb. This Vraska being alive is kind of rough. But I don't want to lose my Teferi here. I don't want to have anything killed by the Vraska either, so we're going to hit the Vraska here down. We have the Moment of Craving for the token they produce, which is good. I think I'm just going to go after the Vraska here. I'm going to attempt to kill it now. Alright, that works. We're at 3. And we have this Absorb. I have to use the Thought Eraser on it, sadly. We're going up to 6. I mean, we have room to do stuff now. I mean, that's fine. Our opponent surveilled. They left whatever on top. Alright, so our hand just full of lands. I think they have the Vraska on top. Or do they have a Karasis? Oh no, for 8. So they're going to draw 4 cards off of this. I mean, are we just dead? Oh, maybe I should have surveilled first. Would I have survived if I surveilled? Ah, no, I wouldn't have. Alright. I mean, it's not good. We're going to a game 3. If our opponent attacks here, we'll see what they attack. Alright, they go for lethal. Yeah, our opponent got it. Okay. We're going to a game 3. We have 6 minutes left on the clock. Do I want to bring in these Thief of Sanities to try and speed up the clock? This probably isn't a duress matchup, even though they have a lot of Planeswalkers. Maybe I do want the Thief of Sanities on the play. They didn't seem to have a lot of removal. Maybe it's the Kaya's Wraths that come out. They seem to take more of a controlling approach after. What else do I take out? Cry wasn't that great. Maybe Cries come out. And maybe a Mortify? I don't know. Mortify just seems decent. I don't know. I feel like I have to be the aggressor. Yeah, I guess I want to Mortify out. Maybe Mortify was better than the Moment of Craving. Yes, I'd like to play first. And is this a hand that's going to get us the victory? I think it's a keepable hand. I think we have enough lands and stuff to do things. Alright, so we're going to lead on this Godless Shrine tapped. And we're just going to pass it back. And hopefully we can get down this turn 2, search for Azcanta, and Thought Eraser there would have been great, but... Ugh, excuse me. Alright, so our opponent doesn't play anything. No, I would like to play that. It's pretty good for us drawing that Thought Eraser. So now we have to figure out what we want to take and what we want to let our opponent have here. Probably, is it a Hydroid Crassus or is it this Relic Seeker? Guess probably this Relic Seeker. I think Mortify is good. Alright, we're getting value off these hostage, off this search. They've played some lands. And we have 5 minutes left, so maybe I just want to play out one of these hostage takers for some value and start swinging in. Yeah, I guess at least bait out their cast downs or contempts. Alright, cast down number 1's gone. They don't have a... Okay, there's their second black source. Alright, we'll pass the turn back. We're kind of speed playing at this point. We don't have a counter spell. No, we can play that. Hello, I'm clicking now. Thank you for wasting my clock time. Our opponent has to play something here. Unless they're trying to just play out the clock. I mean, it was smart on our opponent to make us use all that time, game 1. Jade Light's fine. Thief of Sanity, that's going to the grave. Alright. I don't have a way to protect this Teferi, but I don't think he has a counter spell. Yeah, maybe he does have counter spells. Alright. So we're probably just going to lose to the clock here, unfortunately. We did go 3-2. So our opponent's going to take one of these removal spells. Yep. That's unfortunate. Alright. So we still have a little bit of game, but not very much. Alright, our opponent's playing out a Hydroid Crassus here. We'll let this happen because I think we're just going to take it. Cast it for 4. and gain 1. And then we have a 2/2 flyer. I mean, that's fine. I don't think our opponent has that contempt anymore. They do have 2 Carasses. Carassis. We have 3 minutes left on the clock. We'll see what we can do here. Our opponent can play out a pretty large one here if they want. But then they're just drawing a bunch of cards they don't need. I'm going to cast down here and then absorb. And take out this Vivian. Okay. So they had something for... They had a cast down. So I don't actually have a way to take out the Vivian. Just yet, at least. So I'm going to play out to Fairy here, and at the end of our turn, I'm going to take down this Carasses. Yeah, I guess we'll see how this goes. We have a little bit of a game here, it looks like. It's not much, it's not great, but we have something. We have plenty of cards in hand. Probably nothing our opponent wants to see. So unless they have a Vraska's Contempt here, I mean... Which, with how many cards our opponent's seen, I doubt they haven't kept a Vraska. Yeah, I was going to say, I doubt they don't have it. Alright, now a Thief of Sanity. So we're just going to mortify this that we just drew. I guess we start hitting our opponent's Vivian, put some pressure on it. I mean, there's not much more we can do at this point. We have an Insight in the grave. We have an Insight in hand. So we still have a little bit of a game, but we're just running out of time. So our opponent with a huge Carasses here, drawing 10 cards. Yeah, I guess I'm going to play out one of these. See what we can do here. Yeah, we didn't draw anything good. Our opponent's just drawing a ton of their library here. And we have a Thief of Sanity. So we're going to start with an Insight. We'll discard this Hollowed Fountain. Found an Absorb, which isn't terrible. I guess I'll play out this Thief of Sanity and see if our opponent... Oh, I actually mistapped our lands here. I didn't leave up Absorb. I have Negate, which I guess is okay. Alright, so they take our Absorb. They have the Scavenger. They'll probably eat our Chemister's Insight. And I don't really think we have a way to win this. So we'll see. So Scavenger, eat the Chemisters. Oh, they're eating the Thief of Sanity. Alright, maybe they didn't see the Chemisters, and that could buy us some points here. So, Chemisters. Maybe, yeah, I was going to say maybe a Negate from our opponent. So I'm going to actually be able to take care of the Vivian here, which is kind of nice. Unless they have a removal spell. Alright, it looks like they do. So does this get trample? No. I could have attacked the Vivian, I guess, and traded. But then he could have just attacked for lethal next turn. Alright, so our opponent has this game in the bag. They won it fair. They didn't win the time. They may have won to me kind of quick playing and, you know, ruining that for myself, but we'll see here. Alright, so we'll block. We're down the 1, and we took out all our Kaya's Wraths, so that's not a way out of this. Alright, and for the victory, we're going to see our opponent's hand. Reclamation Sage. I'm surprised to see that one. Alright, Disdainful Stroke it is. And graveyard to that. And good game, opponent. You won. I played I don't know. I didn't think I played terribly for as fast as I was playing. I shouldn't have played out that early hostage taker, I guess. Still have a minute on the clock, so there could have been something we could have done there. Good game, opponent. Thank you so much for watching. Please go hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed today's video.